Thank you so much, Cape Town. And Amantle, I feel like this is going to be such a great conversation because it's something that is happening more and more, where we have our women who are having their 9-to-5s, but then they're also like, no, I want my side hustle business where I want to sell jewelry, sell clothes, or do whatever it is. Sure. Talk to us about why this is such a big conversation in the workplace at the moment.
So borders are opening up digitally, right? We now digital people who are able to earn income outside of the borders of South Africa and earn in foreign currency. Yeah. Additionally, people just want to express their talents, just like you mentioned earlier on. They want to express their talents. They also want to augment their income. So this has become really a big conversation in the workplace because I'm no longer just bringing my work self to work. Yeah. I want to bring my whole self to work. And as I'm bringing my whole self to work, it means that as people are seeing online what I'm doing, there's no way of hiding it or holding it back, Zanele. So if I'm selling jewelry, people will know about it. Yes. And this is why this conversation is starting now to become louder and louder.
I love that. If I sell makunyas at home, I must come sell them at work as well.
Exactly. Come with your bucket and then we buy from you.
Exactly. And I'm feeding the office.
Exactly.
But I also know that, when it comes to this, some employers can sometimes think, oh no, but if they have a side hustle, then their attention might be divided. What do you say to that?
I don't think it should be a threat or it should be a competition between my side hustle and the workspace. There should be boundaries around it to say, where does it stop with Zanele? As much as we're embracing the fact that she's doing other things, where does it stop and what do our policies say about it? So instead, embrace the fact that she's bringing more than one skill to work. What she was hired for initially, yes, it's great she's doing that, but it means that she's probably tapping into marketing. She's a business person. She can also give us coaching lessons. There's other things that you can actually bring into the workspace that you are getting from your side hustle. So I feel like employers should actually start embracing that. And also Gen Zs have put us in a weird place. There's no way of stopping it. It's happening.
I love it. And that's one thing about the Gen Zs. They don't ask for permission. No. They just do, and everyone else just needs to adjust.
Exactly.
Oh, man. And I mean, obviously, you're somebody who has had that specific journey where you said, okay, cool, yes, I have my 9-to-5, but I want this side hustle. How did it end up even really benefiting the workplace? Talk to us about that, please.
So when I started business coaching, I was in a 9-to-5. I was working for an amazing NPO. And what they did was they encouraged us to start side hustles. What that also did for me as an employee, it meant that I felt more secured. I understood that even if things did not work out in my 9-to-5, then I still have something to fall back on. So when I started business coaching, as much as I was developing content for work seekers, it was more about employability, right? Yeah. And then over time, as I'm now talking to women in the spaces that I was coaching them in, I realized that we could take this content and then expand it. So work seekers are not just looking for a 9-to-5. They're actually looking at growing or starting their businesses. So I could take that and say, let's start developing content in that direction. We even started a podcast and a lot of things came out of it. So yeah.
That's amazing. You can be so proud because it's not an easy thing.
No, it's not.
It's not. All of a sudden your life is 24/7 and there's no sleep at all.
Exactly. Yeah. But the passion and the desire just to do more, it also drives you. You're just saying it feels like it's no longer just work. I'm actually being driven by passion and delivering to the people that I need to serve.
Beautiful. And tell me, how can employers really support those employees who want to now get into a little bit of a side hustle?
So firstly, they must draw up policies and let the policy not just stop. So I'll talk about it. Let's start with the policy. So they should develop policies to say, let this not interfere with what we've hired you for in the first place, right? Know that you can't be using company resources, company time, know where it stops. Yeah. And then secondly, let the policies move out of just that being a document. Let's have spaces where we can engage with employees and say, okay, Zanele, what you've read in the policy means this, and also give you an opportunity for a Q&A session so that you are able to understand and embrace what the environment is saying about this, and also develop a culture of it. So it's not just the policy, it goes on policy, it is a culture and a movement. And then lastly, just tap into the skills of those employees. So as multiple skills are coming up, embrace them and then see if somebody's doing photography part-time, could they possibly be taking pictures at a work event, etc.
You know what I mean? Exactly. I like this. This is why you're the business coach. Beautiful. I'm glad you're not going anywhere because I still have a lot of questions for you. And Mzansi, this is why you need to stick around because we're going to be getting to the crux of it. Is this side hustle economy just a trend? Is it something that's going to eventually fade out the same way that, I don't know, socks and flip-flops eventually did? We're going to be getting into that in a little bit. And then we're also going to be spotlighting that exhibition I told you about called Drawing the Line. Trust me, you want to not go anywhere. Right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show is where you belong. Stick around. We're going to take a short break and we'll see you after this. now. Yes, it's all about feeling good, but it's also all about being informed, Breakfast Show family. Listen, I know that today we are getting into a little bit of a conversation all about the side hustle economy, but the question begs, how do we actually allow it to thrive? How do we actually make it work? This is why today we're talking to an absolutely incredible woman, one who has decided that no, her 9 to 5 wasn't enough. She wants more. Okay, so she added business coaching, and this is why she's the right person to chat to when we come to understand, is it just a trend, this side hustle economy, or is it something that's going to continue? So Amantle, I know that, you know, in terms of just you being a business coach, you obviously have a little bit more information in terms of how these businesses can work along with our 9 to 5. So talk to me, as a business coach, how do you step into the conversation then of the side hustle economy in terms of balancing jobs as well as side hustles?
Sure, balancing jobs and side hustles. So I talked to a lot of women when I did my research in MPhil, in inclusive innovation.
Yeah.
I spoke to women and I realized that when they start out, they don't even have a network, or sometimes they don't have the capital that they need or the systems that they need in place. So what I do is I coach them to understand that they need to start building their own systems.
Sure.
I talk a lot about, instead of time management, energy management. How is Zanele feeling in the morning? Can you do more admin in the morning, or is it more an afternoon or an evening thing? I talk to them about financial management, for example, and also finding the right mentors around them. So the balance also comes from, can I find people within my space or within my network so that they can help me navigate and tell me how did they walk the path before. So that's an important thing when it comes to balancing. I know with women that's key.
Yes, and I love that you've brought up mentorship, because it can be so important for so many people. You know, in terms of it right now, in terms of us finding ourselves, we were like, okay, cool. Women are trying to do this crazy thing of balancing a job and the side hustle. How important is it to actually have somebody who is an example, or somebody that you look up to that can be a role model?
Oh, it's very critical, because then it's a hand-holding exercise.
Okay.
It says, this is what I've done before, and this is how you can avoid mistakes that I had to go through in the past. So women love seeing a person who looks like them. Zanele is doing it. She's on radio, she's on TV, she's doing all these things.
Yeah.
So it means that if I come on board and this is the path that I want to walk, and you are showing me how it's done, it is important for me, because then I see myself in you. I see that it's possible. So if you're doing it, I also feel like I can get it done.
I love that. And one thing we always say, representation is important. Exactly. But now I also know that just in terms of, I want to say trends, whether it's in fashion, whether it's in business, whatever it may be, social media even, they eventually die out. So we're calling this a trend right now. Is it just a trend, or do you think it's something that can actually continue and can be sustainable?
I think it's not a trend, and I'll tell you why. So I've got a son, Russell, and when I talk to him and I ask him, what do you want to be? He's always telling me of multiple things. It's never, I just want to be a scientist, or I want to be this. It's always, I want to be this and that. And it normally involves something in digital. So for me, seeing the fact that with the younger ones, it's already ingrained in them, it's definitely not a trend. It's not going anyway. If anything, employers need to start embracing it.
Go, Russell. You can be the president and a Formula One driver. I love that.
That is what Russell's going to do.
Exactly. But babe, talk to me now just about, you know, what message you have for any employers that are watching, that are sort of sitting here going, oh my goodness, if I have employees that do this, you know, where exactly do I go? How do I even manage it? What would you say to them?
Micromanagement is not going to work. Rather start working on a culture of embracing this. Like I said, it's here to stay. So what you need to do is to look into what I spoke about earlier, the policies. What are we going to do to make sure that employees understand where the buck stops? How are we going to embrace what they're doing, so that if somebody's coming into the workplace, they're having more than one skill that I hired them for. So don't see that as competition, rather see it as, you know, something that complements the work that they do. So instead of asking, how do we stop this? Rather ask yourself, how do we embrace this and grow it?
I love that, because we need to adapt, right? At the end of the day. Because it is what it is. Thank you very much.
It is.
But I also know, just in terms of any journey, there is always a lesson to be learned. With you having done it, you sitting here being like, ladies, yes, we can do it, have a 9 to 5 and a side hustle. What has been your biggest lesson?
Sure, clarity and consistency. So
Okay.
start with something, be clear about what it is, and also continue building every day. So take one step every day. It won't be the same, you won't have the energy that you had yesterday, but at least if you take those smaller steps in a day, then you will get to where you want to be.
I love that. One bite at a time.
Kancane, kancane.
Kancane, kancane. Sisofika, sisofika. I love that. Amantle, thank you so much. We appreciate you and just being able to share your story because it's so inspiring. But please continue not just being a business coach, but a superwoman.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thank
Zanele.
you. Oh, Mzansi, listen, when we said that we would be getting into a conversation about how women are doing it beyond the 9 to 5, I think we didn't expect this much. And we can thank, obviously, the gorgeous Amantle Kanyuchi. Right now, though, my friend, you need to stick around because the conversations are plenty here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Please, my beautiful Cape Town family, tell me what's going on your side.